everyone, thank you for coming to my Vulnerably Badass YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about the new River Gorge National Park. At the end of October and beginning of November, I had 4-day weekend, or my husband had 4-day weekend. Technically it was a 3.5 weekend. It was from Friday afternoon to Monday. So we had a child-free, just two of us romantic date weekend. And because I knew that my son was gonna have 3.5 weekend. Actually, he had Tuesday off too, so 4.5 day weekend. So more than a month before, I contacted his dad in Korea and asked if he's interested in visiting Korea to meet our son. And the reason is because originally I wanted to bring my son to Korea so that I can take care of, some things that I need to do in Korea, and my son can meet his dad and his grandma. But because of COVID situation, we still have to quarantine in Korea, so we couldn't go. But then now Korea's policy is like, if you are vaccinated, fully vaccinated in Korea, then you can go out of Korea, and when you come back you don't have to quarantine. And of course in US, my ex-husband is fully vaccinated, so he doesn't have to quarantine. So when we try to go to Korea, we have to quarantine, but if he comes to US, he doesn't have to quarantine. So I was thinking like, oh, why don't you take a break, visit US and spend the long weekend with your son, and then me and my current husband have romantic weekend. And thankfully my ex-husband is really understanding, and also his work schedule is very flexible too. So like he said, oh, that sounds good. And he has a friend in US too. So he came to visit his friend, and on that weekend he drove to our area and picked up my son, and me and my husband left for the new River Gorge National Park. And I'm really thankful that my current husband understands my love towards national parks. So he picked, I think it's next to the Shenandoah. It's the closest national park for us. And it's actually the 63rd national park, which was added just last year, 2020. So of course the River Gorge has been there and the bridge has been there, but as a national park, it's a new thing. So it was exciting that I was able to visit this newest addition to the national parks. And also visiting West Virginia was my first experience, and for my husband too. So it was really nice to explore a new area together. And so then what we did was, we didn't stay in the national park or in that area, but we went to Charleston in West Virginia, which is a relatively big city compared to, there are other smaller cities around the national park. My husband decided maybe we can have, we can experience different experiences in the bigger city. We can enjoy the nature and also a little bit of city life. So we stayed at Charleston. It was 6-hour drive. So Friday was pretty much driving, and then we went we had dinner and that was it. But Saturday, that was the first day at the national park. And New River Gorge is famous for the view. There's a bridge, big bridge, and he said it's the longest steel bridge in the Western Hemisphere or something. And so in order to get to the point and get a new view, a great view, we went down Long Point Trail. And I like hiking, but my husband likes biking. So we brought our bikes in the back of the car, drove, and so he got the bikes ready, helmets, and because it was getting cold, he got the gloves for me and for him too. And we got ready and we went down. And we were told at the visitor center that you can mountain bike to a certain point, but after that point you need to hike. So we did that. There was a bike rack in the middle of the trail, so we left the bikes there and we hiked the Long Point Trail. At the end of the trail there's a nice view and we were able to see the bridge right in front of us, and it felt good after mountain biking and hiking. So that was the first day, and then the rest of the day that area has a lot of trails, and the trail is for both hiking and biking. So we biked 4 hours. We stayed 4 hours or 4.5 hours, and we did a lot of moving. And so it was great. And because I didn't know so much about it, and we just look at the trail and let's try this trail, like trail number 9, trail number 5, but we didn't really look, the difficulty of the trail. So we ended up experiencing easy to strenuous, and I was total beginner to do the mountain biking. And later on my husband told me mountain biking for himself was first time. So wow, we did a great job. We did experience easy to strenuous. It was like some parts were really dangerous. So, and plus it was not raining, but it rained, and then some places were wet, so slippery. So I'm so proud that we were able to do that. So that was the first day, and that night was anniversary for us. That 6 years ago, my husband asked me to be his girlfriend. So that was a special night. So he got a reservation at the nice restaurant, and we had champagne and nice dinner. So I was really happy that we were able to enjoy physical activity in the nature, but at night in a nice restaurant we were able to have this romantic date night dinner. And that was actually the very first date night. The night before when we ate pizza, that was date night too, but that weekend is so special because since I came here in January, because of my son and because of COVID, we didn't really have this romantic dinner together. So that was very first time after we arrived in the States. So I really enjoyed that nice atmosphere. And then the next day, Sunday, the weather was a little bit worse than Saturday. Saturday, when we finished mountain biking, it started raining. Not too much, but like a sprinkling. And Sunday, it was sprinkling or misty, foggy, So we decided that rather than doing hardcore hiking, we decided to kind of drive to certain points. The new River Gorge is really nice. The trailhead, like sometimes like right in front of good view, and even those areas are kind of accessible. So if even people on wheelchair can go there. So what I mean is like you don't have to. Some areas you don't have to hike to do it. So we decided that we're gonna visit all these places that you can park the car and hike just a little bit to get nice views. So what we did is the first thing we did was we went to Sandstone Falls. There was beautiful fall, and the trailhead or parking area was really close. So even though the weather was not really nice, we didn't have to worry too much, but we were able to see the nice view. And then we went to Grand View to see the nice river, like running like this, like a, what do you call, horseshoe. And we took pictures, nice pictures, a lot. And that place too, you can park and walk a little bit and you can get really great view. And the third place we went was not in the River Gorge National Park, but it's in Babcock State Park. But I found that on Google Maps that there is a thing called Grist Mill. And I found out that a lot of people during the fall season, they go there and take the picture because the autumn leaves are so beautiful. And also the mill, it's an old mill, but the image of the picture, with the water coming down, a little fall, and old mill in the nice foliage is really popular. So we wanted to check, so we went there and it was beautiful. And I was so surprised that mill is actually working. It's not just, it used to be a mill, but it is working. And there are some grains that they mill, so like corn meal or something is sold, but when we were there it was sold out at the visitor center. But it's amazing that you can actually see the actual working, functioning mill. So if you go to the new River Gorge National Park, it's so close, so I recommend you to go. So so that was the things we did, and on Monday we drove back. And at the National Park Visitor Center, I found this National Park Geek patch. So I was so happy. Like I haven't visited so many of the national parks, including the past ones, but still I am so in love with national parks. So when I found it, I'm gonna get it. And I haven't put it in anywhere yet, but my plan is to put it on my backpack, so every time I do hike, you can see this. But the experience was amazing. I'm so happy that I was able to do this with my husband, and I'm looking forward to visiting another national park at some point and trying different things. So that was my experience, and I want to ask you, what national park have you been to and which one is your favorite? And it doesn't have to be, US national park, or it doesn't have to be national park, but what kind of parks or nature or spots you enjoy going, hiking, biking, canoeing, anything. Looking forward to hearing from you, and thank you for visiting my channel, and see you next time.